Hey, I'm Ron Drodos, and welcome to my journey through the real book number 21. This is the tune Arise Her Eyes by Steve Swallow, and it's not a jam session tune. This isn't one of those tunes that you're going to go to a jam session with people you might not have played with before and say, hey, let's play Arise Her Eyes, like you would a Night in Tunisia or Confirmation or something. It's more of a almost a semi-classical kind of piece. This was written in the late 60s, early 70s. Let's see, what does it say? 69, but it was really recorded in the early 70s by Chick Corea and Gary Burton. They made a duo to, it's sort of like chamber music jazz, a lot of straight eighth notes. They were getting away from the traditional swing tunes and more into Latin or straight eighth, almost semi-pop influenced stuff from the early 70s, but with the jazz vocabulary and improvisation over on the top of that. So you'd get, vamps, things like that, or semi-Latin tunes. Trying to do something a little different in the vibraphone and piano duet. They did albums like Crystal Silence, great stuff. And they played a lot of Steve Swallow tunes. He was in the, Gary Burton was at Berkeley in Boston. Chick Corea was originally from Boston. And Steve Swallow was in that circle at the time, and his tune sounded very fresh. The great thing about a tune like this is that you can't use any of your traditional bebop licks. You can't just sit down and go, or any Charlie Parker, none of that works. And I think that was one of the great appeals in the early 70s from this. Jazz musicians were looking for fresh sounds and fresh approaches and to challenge themselves to do something a little different and stay creative, because sometimes, even though I love playing bebop, Chick Corea has still played a lot of bebop type stuff, but at the same time you need to keep growing and not necessarily playing the same tunes all the time. So when you go through this, this is a great opportunity to keep a fresh outlook and just have the tune be an exploration. I mean, it doesn't even use all seventh chords like most jazz things. The first is C with an add 9. It's really an add 2, the D, because there's no seventh in there. And then it goes to diminished chords. And then when it resolves, it's a sus chord. So it really gets you thinking out of the box. And I'm just going to enjoy this. I have no idea, each time I sit down and I play a tune like this, I have no idea where it's going to go. You could just play very simple. Some of the recorded versions of this by other artists, not Chick Corea, they don't even really improvise. There's one I was listening to with a string quartet that was just playing beautiful inner voices. Just sort of very, very classical, almost like some of the French composers. So enjoy this, and I hope you check out this tune, because it's not easy at first. It kind of goes in places you don't think it'll go, but it can really bring a nice freshness to your playing. see there's a lot there, and I have to say I avoided this tune for years because it just seems a little odd. I heard Chick Corea do it and Gary Burton. I like that version. I think it's on the album Crystal Silence. And, you know, but it's not always approachable at first. But when you really get into it, you can see, and there's even a 2-5-1, you know, in F here. It starts to become more logical. And it's basically, I think the way it was constructed from, you know, the composer's point of view was to sort of play something that sounds mysterious, it's like fresh, you don't know where the chords are going, and boom, there's an arrival point. You know, like, where's it? You know, 5th line down. So you have this. All of a sudden this fresh wave of energy comes in because you've arrived and it's a beautiful major sound, and then it goes to this diminished again and sort of meanders a little bit. Then you come to another point where, okay, I've arrived here, you know, this 2-5-1. So you're sort of at C swimming around, and then you come to an island. C and then another island, and you can rest a little bit. So have fun with this. If you're interested in step-by-step instruction, check out my Jazz Piano University at keyboardimprov.com. Love helping people get to the point where music becomes easier, fluent. You become fluent at piano. That's the main thing. It's not just about learning the hard stuff all the time. You want to get to the point where you can sit down with a tune, whether it's this or another one, and just play. That's a great feeling, and I want to share it with you. So good luck, have fun with this tune, and I'll see you in the next Journey Through the Real Book video.